All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and now that we got some new shiny faces in the door and a few walked out of the door, we're going to talk about how much our draft needs have changed.
They're in flux, as they say in the business. And if you want to maybe not be in flux and be a subscriber of the channel, hit the button. Also, comment and like, and be a YouTube member for your chance to win that beautiful signed John Renendell helmet that's just behind Onebar's left shoulder.
Getting greedy. We're asking for a lot of things, but we want to get to 12,000 subscribers so bad.
12K by draft day.
12K by draft day. All right, let's talk. We're not done in free agency, and I'm sure we're not done getting rid of players as well. But let's just talk how much these changed. And going into this, I mean, when we were doing mock drafts, early rounds were edge rushers, maybe a center, maybe a quarterback. So those were always kind of the biggest needs.
Well, let's talk. I mean, you mentioned the needs at 11. I mean, if you stay at 11, you're either taking a quarterback or an edge. I think that edge now is eliminated from 11 just with the signings the Vikings had. Bernard, Van Ginkel. I think you can forget about an edge early. Maybe if like someone like a Chop Robinson fell in round 2, you might double up again. But other than that, I don't expect an edge. I mean, an edge will be added at some point, but I think that's more of a day 3 thing now.
Yeah, edge is still definitely in need, but unless somebody really is just beautifully sitting there in round 2, I don't want them to go edge. Thank God we squashed that in free agency with some wonderful players. So let's talk the interior offensive line. And clearly we don't have a starting left guard right now, unless that is in fact Blake Brandel. But when it comes to center, I'm just taking it off the list. I mean, Bradbury appears to be the guy. So center wise, it hurts to say, but I don't think that's a need.
Yeah, I think you can probably eliminate the Zach Frazier's at 42. I just don't see it either. I think you wait. Maybe you get like a Bo Limmer or someone later, Bortolini down the road. Again, another day 3. Still a need, but definitely not one. I just don't think they're going to do it. I mean, guard now. I mean, is there a straight up guard that's BB from Kansas State? I mean, who else would be there in consideration at 42 for a guard?
Yeah, and that's way too early for BB. So like guard, free agency, we just gotta hopefully they do something there. But yeah, I don't know. Interior offensive line is obviously a big old question mark right now, but center's off my list. Offensive, let's stay on the offensive side of the ball. What else?
Let's talk running back. I mean, we got Aaron Jones. You see that beautiful man down there in the corner. When I was doing mocks prior to the free agency starting, Trey Benson was sitting there at 42. I was very tempted. I think maybe a couple of times I took him just to see how things would shake out. Running back now, even round, I don't think, if anything, it's probably one of these late picks, round 6, round 7. Maybe you're looking for a certain type. Maybe you're looking for more of a physical back. You got Aaron Jones. You got Ty Chandler. Maybe you want more of a pounder. So I think they wait. I mean, that gets pushed way down the list, and also the type of back gets changed.
Yeah, we back was always 4th, 5th round type of pick, and a target in a lot of Vikings mock drafts, not just ours. And it's gone. I still think they'll add one potentially. I mean, we've seen them add running backs to the mix, even when we had Dalvin Cook and Madison. We had even when Wongwu was here. I mean, we were adding more running backs, so we'll see. But the other offensive wide receiver, I still think it's a need. We brought in Brandon Powell as potentially our number 3. KJ Osborne still isn't signed, but he's not coming back. But nice wide receiver, and like maybe even as early as round 4, I think is still on the table.
Yeah, I don't think that changes at all. I mean, I was always targeting them around then anyway in mocks. I think a lot of our, when we did the viewer mocks, it was always a target around round 4. So I don't think that's changed at all with Brown and Powell coming back. I still think a receiver is in play pretty much anywhere after round 2. Let's talk the big one, quarterback. I mean, all the moves the Vikings made really, really point to this team trading up to the point where it would be a shock if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish we knew what those Giants were doing. I really wish we knew what the Giants were doing, because the Falcons are not taking a quarterback anymore. The Broncos are a team that could trade up in front of us and get their guy. But other than that, there's not, I mean, aside from the top 3, like we could still potentially maybe sit at 11 and get McCarthy.
We'll see. I mean, I want to mention the Broncos. Do you actually think, like, after all the trades they've made, all the picks they've given away in recent, like, they'd actually do that again to move up? I don't know. I think they'd be gun shy. Maybe they won't do it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just hard up for like the second tier guys like the Bo Nixes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, as far as the quarterback position, Sam Darnold's here. It's definitely a need. But everyone's just saying trade up, trade up, trade up, trade up, trade up. What if we traded back? What if we traded back? What if they're really high on like a Penix or a Bo Nix, like it or not, or like the Spencer Rattlers of the world, and they
Jordan Travis, baby.
I'm just saying, like, I'm saying in the back of round 1, or they stand tight at 11, take the defensive lineman, and then they trade back up into round 1 and get a Penix or something like that. Like, I'm not completely writing that off.
No, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, everybody's assuming the Vikings love McCarthy, they love Drake May. We don't know how they feel about Penix or Bo Nix or any of the other guys you mentioned too. So that's definitely a possibility. The trading back up to get the 5th-year option on a quarterback, they could go that route. And then you mentioned the other big need now, defensive line. That has skyrocketed up. It always was a big need, and they didn't do anything. They brought back Jonathan Bullard. So that need is still very huge. 11. Johnny Newton, Byron Murphy. I mean, those are really the only 2 guys you can even talk about. It feels like it's early for both at 11. Move back a few spots and maybe get one of those guys.
Well, and they really have done things on the defensive line. They've let everybody go. I mean, they haven't brought anybody back but Bullard. I mean, even Tonga. I mean, look at this. We have 3 guys on the defensive line. So they are just wiping this thing clean like a hungover butt wiping, which usually lasts for quite a while. So defensive line, we got to be hot and heavy on this. Those guys, a lot of them.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on your butt wiping comment. But yes, I actually think, I mean, is 3 too much to draft in this draft?
No, it's not. If based off of our free agency and everything we've done, if we drafted 3 offensive linemen and 3 defensive linemen, normally I would think that's so boring and I would hate everything about it. I would applaud.
Yeah, and
it's like after a good butt wiping.
The D lineman's tricky because you're taking these guys who maybe are projected to be, like a 3-tech, and you see now, can this guy play a 5-tech? Can he play end in this system? So it's always a tricky evaluation when it comes to these guys. But I think there will be a big man, at least one big guy, whether that's Tavondre Sweat or a Gabe Hall, someone like that. And then maybe one of these guys, a Fisk, like Wayne Carter, one of these guys who can play maybe end.
All right, let's just wrap this thing up. The secondary as a whole, we need depth. We need players back there at pretty much both of those positions. I anticipate corner like being like if a Cam Hart were to sit there staring at you with those beautiful eyes, come pick me. So we'll add some there, but it's not like an immediate need.
Yeah, inside linebacker as well. I don't think. I mean, it's really not a very good class overall. And with the addition of Blake Cashman now, I don't think you have to go there. And I still have a feeling Troy Dye might be back. I don't know if you're on board with me on that, but I'm talking maybe a week or 2 down the road. See old Troy back, signed by the Vikings.
Free.
Pro bono. Be close to free.
Yeah. And then you know what? Kicker. Who knows? We got John Parker Thomas. Romo. Let us know in the comments. What are your top 2-3 needs now that free agency is kind of butt whacked? And I think there's going to be a common theme to these needs.
I think so as well. And also remember this, koala fingerprints are almost indistinguishable from humans and on occasion have even been confused at a crime scene.